Give me 100 COVID. 99 I will send to the corruptor. 1 for myself, if I do that too. Said Prime Minister China Zhou Rongji in 1998. I'm sorry, if necessary, every single head of institute in Indonesia, the president must to prepare a coven as a commitment not to commit corruptions. Because at this point, the example needed from higher up, so it can spread and become the model to society. Before I continue, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Thank you for having me, respectable judges and the audience. Praise be to Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, has given us mercies and help. My name is Kayla Kalista Ibrahim. I'm from SMAN 1 Kamal. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a dream. So do every single one of you, right? Something we desire to aim for. So, did you know that our country has a nation's dream in 2045 that 1 century after Indonesia independent will not just an anniversary momentum, but also that Indonesia succeeded in breaking out of its middle class income and become a developed country. But how we're able to achieve it? Well, there's some point we need to focus on to the upcoming 5 year, delivered by our Mr. President Joko Widodo. First of all, dynamic human resources, skilled in both science and technology. Secondly, infrastructure development. Thirdly, regulatory simplifications, as well as bureaucratic simplifications. And lastly, economic transformations. Those things are need a lot of fees, which I believe we can afford it. But then I remember again of corruptions. Did you know that ICW reported that Indonesia suffered a loss as big as 33.6 trillion rupiah just in 2022 due to corruptors. And that's just only from the people who proven guilty. I can't even imagine how much money we lost due to corruptions. At this point, looking at corruptions do everywhere, every time, every minute, I started asking myself, will Indonesia golden dream in 2045 fail due to corruptions? Of course, we don't want that to happen, right? So, how do we deal with corruptions? Let's take China as an example. If Indonesia has KPK, China has Central Commissions of Discipline and Inspections. What distinguishes of these two countries is the government seriousness and commitment to fight corruptions. China has succeeded in implementing law endorsement indiscriminately, including executing corruptors. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, the death penalty still be discussed, even though it has a positive law. Of course, there's a lot of gain if the corruptions can be handled, such as building public trust, focusing to the infrastructure development, improving the education system and facilities, etc., etc. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't need to be afraid that the death penalty considered a violating of humans. Because by executing corruptors, we actually protect the rights for the people and nations. If the states dares to sentence drugs dealers to death, why doesn't the states do also same to the corruptions? Aren't drugs and corruption both are determined to the belief to the many people? Umar ibn Khattab once said, "The country become a crumble, although its purpose, if the trader become a high official and the property controlled by the egoistic." Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps enough so that I can say no more or less, as well as mistake that I can say, either internationally or not. I really apologize. Thank you for your attention and goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.